Seems impossible, but 9 people initially survived the Vail gondola accident of 1976. That included 4 young men from Wayland, Massachusetts.
But sometimes the best efforts of doctors and nurses simply aren't enough. Investigative reporter Kevin Vaughn and photojournalist Tom Cole are back tonight with part 3 of After the Fall.
As he lay in bed at St. Anthony Hospital, 20-year-old Skip Conieris listened to his father's words.
He said, "I've got some bad news."
Listened, but had trouble hearing.
He said, "Your friend Steve died." It didn't register. I was just talking, and suddenly I was looking at my dad, and it suddenly occurred to me, he just gave me some bad news, and then it occurred to me, oh my God, Steve's dead. This is horrifying.
Stephen J. Mioli was 18, a student at Colorado State in Fort Collins. For 48 hours after his gondola car had crashed, it seemed like he'd be okay. He'd talked to his friends. He'd even spoken briefly to a reporter from his hospital bed. But he developed blood clots, and then his aorta burst.
It was a struggle.
The old buddies from Wayland, Massachusetts, all just a year or two out of high school, had enjoyed a week of fun. Mioli had come down for spring break, crashing at the apartment Conieris and Dietrich shared. Skip and Steve spent the day before the accident at Vail.
He and I had gone up the cable car together and talked, and he was telling me about his life, and I was telling him about what I was doing, and how was college, how was being a ski bum, and I liked him very much.
That night, Mioli popped for a steak dinner as a thank you.
He was just a nice kid.
Greg Dietrich was the only injured person who wasn't helicoptered to Denver. He was recovering at Vail Valley Medical Center when an administrator told him that Steve had died.
I didn't believe him. I'm going, no, Steve didn't die. Steve and I were talking to each other. Steve didn't die. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, that just sent me into a whole different spin, knowing that Steve is dead.
Steve was the guy that least deserved to die. Just a good young kid.
Steve was the nicest, gentlest out of the 4 of us.
The survivors ask the same question, one they can't answer. Why Steve? Why not me?
Me and Jack and Skip, we all could be punks at times, and it just seemed to me if somebody had to die, it should have been one of us. Not the good one. He should have lived.
He does live, in a way, in the hearts and minds of his 3 friends.
So this is dated February 20th, 1991.
Skip Conieris has kept this letter for more than 30 years.
Dear Skip,
A letter from Steve Mioli's dad.
Your warm, very, very welcome note was forwarded to us in Florida.
A response to Skip's letter telling Steve's parents about all the fun the friends had shared with him the last week of March 1976.
It is difficult for us to express how much we appreciate your sharing with us Steve's last few days. We know life is for the living. As we know, our memories and thoughts are permitted with the dead.
After Steve Mioli's death, friends from his dorm at Colorado State University installed a memorial plaque in his honor in Allison Hall. It read, in part, "He was kind to everyone and was easy to like." Allison Hall is in the midst of an extensive renovation, but the plaque is safe. The folks at CSU tell me discussions are ongoing about the best way to display it and other memorials once the project is finished. Steve Mioli's family will have input into that decision. In the studio, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.